Okay.
My okay.
Did you want me
So
to start or did you want to start?
what was that?
Did you want to do the first one? Do you want me to do the first one? Oh, actually, the first one has 3 parts, so we could both do it.
Okay. Wait, the first one is like what's the difference with oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You can take it away.
Okay. So for the first one, is asking about the difference between incomplete overdominance and codominance. So
Mm-hmm.
for incomplete dominance, what I got as a definition was that um, the appearance in a heterozygous of a trait, it's intermediate. It has an intermediate uh, phenotype.
Mm-hmm.
So the example that I took from the notes was the one for the flower color. So where they could both be equally dominant for a trait. So when one that is dominant for red and one that's dominant for white um, cross, they'll produce pink flowers as a incomplete phenotypic trait, dominant phenotypic trait.
Yeah.
Did you get the same?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
only thing that I would because I think that you know this, but like if because red is dominant to white, so
Mhm.
like but it's if they have if they're homozygous for a trait, then they and they mix, then they make a like a pink, like incomplete dominance. Uh, so that's good. And then over dominance, I said that it involves the advantage of being heterozygous for a trait, and that's like sickle cell anemia.
Uh-huh.
So like uh, the HbA or the hemoglobin A protein is dominant to the hemoglobin S protein, and hemoglobin S protein is what uh, exhibits sickle cell anemia. So if it's homozygous for the hemoglobin A protein,
Uh-huh.
then the individual is susceptible to malaria. And if it's homozygous for the hemoglobin S protein, then they're more susceptible or more likely to have sickle cell anemia.
Mhm.
And but if it's heterozygous, then they're resistant to malaria and to sickle cell anemia.
Okay.
So they have more of a benefit if they're heterozygous.
Mhm.
That's what I got for
Okay.
that. Did you get the same thing?
Yeah, I got pretty much the same thing as well. Um, so I'll go over codominance.
Okay.
For this one, I found that so it talks about how the relationship between it's a relationship that's shared between two versions of the same gene. So when somebody has one version of the gene and the other parent produces the other version of the gene,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's the dominant allele that's going to be expressed. But for codominance, the example that we were given was the one about the blood types.
Mm-hmm.
But this time where the two alleles are expressed, but how does let me just read what I have. I'm trying to like
Okay.
re-explain. Um, so it says where two alleles for a trait express functional proteins which contribute equally to the phenotype. So the way that I understood this part is that you could like equally have a chance of getting one of the dominant alleles for blood type.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is my definition like close?
Yeah, no, I got the
What
same.
you're interested in?
So I
Yeah.
said involves two alleles that contribute equally to the phenotype of the trait. So it's easy.
Yeah. So like for a blood type AB, The only way that you can have an AB blood type is if you have both of those alleles and not like because they're I guess what it's saying is like that they both are gonna express blood type, um but they'll contribute to the different phenotype. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good. And then, but the I allele
Oh,
isn't
it's for the
is
universal.
it's just the A and the B, right?
So if it's A and I, then it's blood type A.
Mm-hmm.
B and I is blood type B. And then the universal one, which is I and I for blood type O, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sweet. Shoot, you think that's good for that one?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Number two. So that says number two says consider the following cross between the A and B alleles
Mm-hmm.
crossed with the B and I allele. What are the
Mm-hmm.
expected genotypes and phenotypes of the offspring produced from this cross? So what genotypes did you get?
So I got A B B B A I and B I.
A, B, B, A, I, B, I. That's what I got too.
Yeah. Okay.
And then for the phenotypes,
It's
so it's
pretty good.
AB, type A, and type B.
Yeah.
Sweet. Three. This question concerns the rabbit coat color trait. This trait is controlled by an allelic series. A. Suppose a rabbit has a full coat phenotype. What are the possible genotypes of this animal? For A, I got that the genotype possibilities are the dominant C and then the lowercase CCH,
Yeah.
one. And then I got the dominant C and the lowercase CH as the second one.
Uh-huh.
And then dominant C, lowercase c,
Uh-huh.
and then two dominant C's.
Yep, I got the same thing.
Okay.
So then the next part is just what are the possible genotypes of this animal? So I got suppose the rabbit has a Himalayan coat phenotype. What are the possible genotypes of this animal? And then I got lowercase c's with a subscript h,
Mm-hmm.
and then lowercase c's with one subscript h.
That's what I got to.
Okay.
And C is listed below are the phenotype ratios among the offspring of two crosses. What are the genotypes and phenotypes of the parents that produce the offspring below? So for cross one, one chinchilla was produced and one Himalayan was produced.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the parents
Genotypes.
genotype and phenotype. So the parents' genotype was CCH with
Mm-hmm.
CHCH. So I didn't write down the
Phenotypes.
phenotype, but that would mean that it was
Chinchilla.
chinchilla,
Chinchilla. Yeah. Oh, sorry, what was that?
chinchilla and Himalayan, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we got the same answers.
And then for cross two, I got capital C, lowercase c, and then CH, lowercase c.
Uh-huh.
So that would mean it was a full coat crossed with a Himalayan, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay. So for number 4, it says heterozygous CC chickens express a condition called creeper, in which the leg and wing bones are shorter than normal, with recessive C phenotype, and the dominant C allele is lethal when homozygous. So, what are the genotypes of this animal? What are the possible genotypes and phenotypes of the parents that produce the offspring below?
Mm-hmm.
C allele is lethal when homozygous. Okay, two alleles of an independently assorting gene determine white with the capital letter dominant and versus yellow, which is a recessive lowercase w skin color. Suppose you made chickens heterozygous for both of the above genes. What phenotypes will be represented among variable progeny and what are their expected frequencies? So, what I got, so when I was reading the notes, it only said something about recessive alleles being lethal. But for this particular question, did you find that three of the three of the progeny would have died with a lethal allele? Is that what you got as an answer? Well, part of the answer. If my mic is still working. Sorry, did you hear me, Lindsey?
Okay, I think it's caught up now.
Okay. What
Okay.
did you hear what I said just before?
No.
Okay then.
It sped through it.
Oh really? Okay. So what I found was that three of the progeny would have died with a lethal allele. Did you get that?
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Okay. And then I got um one. Well, I guess I don't even know how to say this, but the ratio that I got was pretty varied. I got a 1 to 2 to 2 to 2 to 2 to 4 to 1 to 1.
Yeah.
And I think I might have done it wrong. Did you get the same thing?
Well, I did. So with I guess that is how I should have done the ratio because it says, well, phenotypes, what are their expected frequencies? So I did like fractions, but I got 4 phenotypes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what phenotypes?
I think that's the way it should have been done, but I put it in ratio form.
Mm-hmm.
But could you tell me your fractions so that I can see if what I got in ratio form was correct?
Yeah. So for the creeper white, I
Uh-huh.
got 3/8, and then for the creeper yellow, I got 1/8.
Yellow. Okay.
Yeah. And then for the normal white, I got 3/16.
Uh-huh.
And then for the normal yellow, I got 1/16.
That would have been okay. Okay. Because for the other ones, you reduced it. Yeah, for the 3/8 and the 1/8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess I could have done that would be 9/16 and 2/16, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it was good.
Okay.
Okay, I thought I was lost on that one. I was like, am I understanding it correct?
No, you did good.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to do this this class online sometimes.
Yeah.
Take this quiz.
Like I kind of don't have a choice but to take it online.
Me too.
Yeah, I was thinking of taking it on campus, but I'm also doing like an internship, so it's kind of hard.
Where are you doing your internship at?
At the Student Health Center.
Oh, right. I asked you that. I remember.
No, it's always because you're doing your internship now too, right?
Yeah, at Animal Hospital
That's so
over
cool.
by our mountain.
What are you trying to get into again?
I'm animal science, so I wanted to be a vet.
Oh, okay.
But I'm thinking vet tech right now. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. That's awesome.
it's a lot of fun. I love it.
Okay.
5.
Okay. For number 5, it says this question concerns shell coin, and this is the one I was telling you before that I was having trouble understanding. And it says, the shell coin trait in the water snail, Lemnera peregra, which genotypes and phenotypes are predicted among the offspring of the following crosses, involving involving the shell coiling trait of water snakes. Homozygous recessive female crossed with a homozygous dominant. So then that would give the 3-to-1 ratio, right?
Yeah.
Of homozygous versus one recessive.
Well, if you cross a recessive female with a dominant male, you only get one genotype.
Oh yeah, they're all heterozygous. Sorry.
Yeah. I found something in the notes that I'm trying to look for that kind of helped me not better understand, because this maternal thing is,
yeah.
I don't really.
So what I'm understanding is that the maternal allele is kind of like the allele that's carrying whatever trait
is going to be
or
exhibited.
genotype. Yeah.
But I just hold on, let me find it real quick.
It's okay.
So that's what you got. The genotype is heterozygous D.
Yeah. Heterozygous for all.
Yeah.
And then
the phenotype.
but the shell coiling part is the part that was kind of the confusing part for me.
Oh, okay. So because the female can only give the recessive allele because she's homozygous recessive, that means that only that all the offspring will be sinistral, because sinistral is the recessive trait. You can only the female doesn't have any dominant traits to give. So I got the phenotype to be sinistral for that, because even though there's dominant alleles in there, they're given by the male and the female. I don't know why it does that. I still don't understand. I mean, I know there's a nurse cell.
Yeah.
Like
I can do the crossing, but then I'm trying to understand the concept behind the trait.
We apply the maternal effect.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that she'll tell us, and that way we know when to use these rules. But so one thing that I read in the notes that kind of helped me. So it says the absence, because okay, I'll read B next, because that's the one that I had problems with, and then
okay.
But, so B is a heterozygous female crossed to a homozygous recessive male. So then the genotypes we got out of that were a heterozygous D and a homozygous recessive D, right?
Yep.
So I was confused because I know that the nurse cell provides the phenotype, but I was like, okay, so the mother has both. In this case, she has both the dominant and the recessive trait. Why would? Because the notes said that no matter what, even if she's heterozygous, the offspring will be dextral. So I read that in the notes, so I knew that was the answer, that the phenotypes are dextral no matter what. But I didn't understand that because the mother has both the dominant.
The dominant and the recessive. Yeah.
But then, what did I read? Oh my goodness. He is present. Okay, so in the notes it says the absence of the D gene product produces a left-handed body plan. So it's not the fact that there is a recessive D present that matters. It's the fact that there's a dominant D there that the mother has. So if the mother has a dominant D, it will be dextral, period. That's it, because it's only whenever the D is absent that it'll go left.
Okay.
Sinistral. So if the mother has the dominant trait, it will be expressed.
Okay. Yeah, now this is starting to like make a lot more sense.
Still a little bit confusing. I don't understand because we still do the Punnett square. Like we still,
Yeah, you still have to do that to figure out the rest.
there's some problems where this doesn't apply. So that's what confuses me. But like you would think that if this was a rule or an effect, that it would apply in all situations.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't get it. But that's how I made sense of that answer. So heterozygous D and then homozygous recessive D and all phenotypes are dextral.
Okay.
My roommate has horses.
Sorry?
I said my roommate has horses, that's why.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was like yours since you're doing animal science.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool though. What did you get for C?
Okay, so sorry, let me go back to the assignment. So for C, homozygous dominant female crossed with a heterozygous male, and that's half would be dominant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other half hetero.
Will they be? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what did you get for the phenotypes for that?
For the phenotypes for this one, that sorry, let me go back again. I'm switching between the pages.
Oh, it's good.
Let's see. So what I got is that, well, from what I thought before was that half then would be affected by the shell quelling.
Mm.
Like, I'm still like really shaky on this whole thing, and I know I need to go back before I take the quiz.
That's okay. So, like, the cell is gonna be coiled either way, but it just the presence of the homozygous
Homozygous.
dominant D in the mother is what affects which way it's gonna coil. So, like with the first one, with like problem A, there is no D in the mother's.
There's no D in the mother's.
So it's gonna be sinistral or recessive. The recessive phenotype is gonna be displayed no matter what because there's no homozygous. I mean, there's no dominant D there from the mother. But like with B, there's one dominant, and with C, there's two dominant. So those are going to be dextral. So I feel like with these, if it's maternal, you don't even have to write out the Punnett square. You just have to know like you would
the
just
rules.
Look at, yeah, you just look at what the mother can provide.
Yeah.
And which one's dominant and recessive. But does that make any sense?
Yeah. I'm so nervous to take the quiz today. Because, well, like the first 4 questions, I was like, oh, this is okay.
Yeah.
And then when I got to 5 and 6, I was like, why am I so lost?
Because it's weird. They just keep throwing new rules. I think they're making it up as they go along.
And then suddenly when I looked back at the other questions, I'm like, am I getting those things wrong? Or like, how do I know what's applying?
I mean, does it make any more sense than it did before?
Yeah, I just need to review it again and like really get it down. Because there's no way I'm gonna pass that section in an exam if it's what I know right now.
Yeah. Do you know we have exams online, right?
I think, oh gosh, because I'm taking a few classes. It's either we have exams online or we have to get proctored if we're not in Medford, but I'm taking my local testing center.
Well, I'll have to check because I want to know when that is. But
yeah, I know I have my first exam for Bio 265 this week on Friday.
What is 265?
A nat and phys.
Oh, not please.
Yeah.
You taking that online?
I'm taking the class online and the lab on campus.
Man,
Yeah.
that's rough.
So, that's why
Um,
sometimes when I'm doing these assignments, I'm like, wait, did I submit? No, I submitted this for my other homework. Okay.
you're off track though. You're off track.
No, I'm on track. Yeah.
I'm off track, and I missed my.
Oh, actually, I'm over. I have an override this
Oh
semester.
right, I
Yeah.
missed my override, so that's why I'm taking it online. Because I did try to get into class, but
Mm-hmm.
that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do 6?
Okay. Let's see. Sorry, let me get to the
Okay.
assignment. Where put it? In wheat, red kernel color results from the presence of at least one dominant allele of each of two independently assorting genes R and B. So, then it gives the key R, B for red kernels, white kernels, brown kernels for. Okay, and then suppose that a plant is true breeding for red kernels is crossed with a plant true breeding for white kernels. Okay, I'm gonna say that that means that it's R, like uppercase R's and uppercase B's for both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, for true breeding for the white kernels is lowercase and everything.
Okay.
So suppose that a plant is true breeding for red kernels, so that's all dominant.
That's all dominant. So
Yeah.
you're no matter what, you're gonna get red kernels in the
Yeah.
F1 notes.
Well,
And
yeah. So
the same for the white kernels, right? Because it's both lowercase b's.
yeah. So
Yeah.
F1 would be all.
All red. Oh, I mean, sorry. I mean, for
What's
red kernels, they're all gonna be R dominant and BB recessive, but with the BB recessive, that means that they're all gonna be brown kernels.
uh,
Is that what you got? Because I would get that they would all be brown kernels. I've done this problem like so many times, and I think it's because I'm confusing my definitions.
I got all red kernels because so it says suppose I could be wrong, but it says suppose that a plant is true breeding that is true breeding for red kernels. So that's one parent, and
Uh-huh.
so it would be uppercase R, uppercase R, uppercase B, uppercase B.
Yep.
Is crossed with a plant that is true breeding for white kernels. So that would be lowercase r, lowercase r, lowercase b, lowercase b. So then, whenever I crossed the r's, so I did a Punnett square for the r's, I got, or for the F1 progeny, whenever I crossed both traits, I got 100%
100%.
heterozygous R and heterozygous B. So that would mean a phenotype of 100% red kernels.
Okay. So the reason why I thought it was brown kernels is because it was heterozygous. But now that you're like going through it, I'm realizing it's because they both have the uppercase R and the uppercase B that make them red kernels, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm on track.
Okay, sweet. So that's the genotype that you got? Uppercase
Yeah.
R, lowercase r, uppercase B.
So I did get the right genotype, but
Okay.
I didn't pair it with the correct phenotype. Okay.
Because in A, it just asks, oh, it did just ask for the phenotype. I just put the genotype, but.
Yeah. So like when I was doing the cross, I got heterozygous for both,
That's
but when I traded I said that it was brown kernels because it was heterozygous.
okay.
But I didn't realize that it only needed one of the dominant for each
Yeah,
to be red. Okay, now I'm getting it.
So, B says, suppose you make two F1 plants. What are the expected phenotypic classes in the F2 progeny and the relative proportions? So, I got that the phenotypic classes
Uh-huh.
are one is red kernels, one is brown kernels, and one is white kernels. But the ratio, and I
The
could have
ratio.
the ratio wrong because I was a little bit confused. But
When you did the F2 progeny, you crossed the heterozygous for both traits on both sides, right?
yeah,
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
yeah.
Okay.
So I actually have a hard time making the ratios, but I counted up how many. I got 4 to 1. Is that even close to that? Because it could
I'm
have
gonna try doing this again because it's so messy right now. Let me see. Do you have your write up there?
well, I
Like
have
it's on your notebook?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just I don't know if you can see. So I just like counted up
Uh-huh.
like these are my phenotypes that I numbered. So one is red kernels, two is brown kernels, three is white kernels. So I
Yeah.
just number by each one, and then I
Uh-huh.
counted how many red
Just
kernels
like
there.
we did in the last one,
Yeah,
yeah.
how many white kernels and how many brown kernels. And
Okay,
that's
that's
what
what I would, yeah.
is that
'Cause
what you
what
count?
it's asking for is the phenotypes. So it should be that instead of the longer ratio. Because what I did was the longer ratio where I paired it with each of their genotypes. But the 4 to 1 is the phenotypic one because if there's only you're only gonna possibly get three
Yeah.
phenotypes.
So I got 4 to 1.
And yeah, 4 to 1.
Okay.
Okay, we're on the same page. Good.
Awesome. Um, did you get that? Are we
Yep.
good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're good. Now we gotta get this quiz.
Okay, so what were we calling our? So is it just Lindsay and Aggie group lesson
Yeah,
one or yeah? Okay then. So I'll let you post it and then I'll comment underneath because I saw that's how the other groups did it. I
yeah.
didn't realize that we were so yeah, and then I'll comment. I was present, yeah.
Okay, let me
Okay.
just get this link.
All right.
Okay, well, I'll see. Hopefully, we're in the same group next time. I think it should be.
I thought we were gonna have new groups this week, but
Yeah, but
okay. Thanks so much.
later.
Yep. See ya.
Have a good one.
Yep. You too. Bye bye.
Bye.